Good morning, I'm Charles Kuralt, and this is Sunday Morning. The stock market went off like a Roman candle last week, and the stockbrokers spent their day off yesterday shopping for Mercedes-Benzes. The economy is up, inflation is down, there are fortunes to be made on Wall Street. Let the good times roll. The Republicans, rolling with the good times, figure to roll right into 4 more years of incumbency as the pain of the recession eases. That's how things appear. George Herman will look behind the appearances in reporting our cover story this morning from a state with a lot of electoral votes.
Toledo, Ohio is part of the American industrial heartland, the place where unemployment cuts deepest. 4 years ago, Toledo voted for Ronald Reagan. But 2 years ago, in the depths of a recession, it voted against Reaganomics. What Toledo is thinking in this election year is our cover story later on Sunday morning.
Phil Jones will join us later on to talk some more about the 1984 political campaign, the one that got rolling so early. We'll introduce you to an energetic, full-time patron of the arts who has brought high culture to the coal fields of the Clinch River Valley. We found her in Wise, Virginia. She is the definition of the word impresario. All They Need Is Love is about some teenagers looking for homes and families. Richard Wagner first reported on them 3 years ago. Another reprise this morning, Robert Lipsyte's story of a magical time in the lives of 26 men who shared a perfect football season 50 years ago. The last time Ron Powers talked about Joan Rivers, he said he found her crude and cruel, and we got a lot of mail. So today, Ron Powers is going to talk about Joan Rivers. We'll visit an island of beauty and a river of pollution, and we'll look back on what news there was in the week past. For now, some of the headlines of this Sunday morning. The president of Israel has asked Shimon Peres of the Labor Party to form a new coalition government. The Labor Party won 44 seats in last month's parliamentary elections. The Likud Party, controlled by Prime Minister Shamir, won 41 seats. Hundreds of workers are using bulldozers to scoop up oil that's covering the beaches of Galveston, Texas, or to try to scoop up the oil. Stormy weather is interfering with efforts to remove more oil from the source of the leak, a grounded tanker. The inmates at a prison in Virginia have now released all 7 of the hostages they had held since noon yesterday. A spokesman for the prison says some of the hostages may have been injured. The prisoners had made a series of demands, from better food to more access to lawyers. If this were a game of Trivial Pursuit, the card would say, what do you call one who is the organizer, manager, or director of an opera or ballet company, concert series, etc.? The answer, of course, is impresario. And if the question were, what do you call Daisy Portuondo of Wise, Virginia? The answer would be the same.
The thing that always worries me the most is the attendance. I can help it. Like, for instance, right now, when I see only a few people in the gymnasium, I worry about how many people are going to come. I want them to come and enjoy everything we're doing, and, as I say, to hook them in the arts.
Wise, Virginia is a town of 5,000 or so in the folds of the Appalachians. A nice town, never before known as a center of culture. There's a college in town. That's the campus of the Clinch Valley College down there. But most people in Wise don't go to college. They go into the mines. About half the people of Wise and the nearby towns are connected with coal mining in some way. What Daisy and Augusto missed in Wise, Virginia were the performing arts. They are both exiles from Cuba. They were married in the United States, but when they came here in the early 60s. He is head of the foreign language department at the college in Wise.
I remember remember when he came for the interview back in 1968, the dean of the college at that time told us that they were trying to hire faculty members who would come from different parts of the United States, and also, if they could help her, from different parts of the world. So the idea was precisely to bring other cultures to this isolated area.
If that was the idea, to bring other cultures to this isolated area, it must have been an idea waiting for Daisy Portuondo to come to town. This spring, they held their annual International Arts Festival. It was started by Daisy and Augusto 8 years ago. One of the performing groups in the festival is the Wise School of Dance. Daisy started that with the help of others after she learned that there was nobody in Wise who could give her daughter ballet lessons.
And she said, "Oh, I think we should have a dance place here in Wise." And I said, "Well, good luck, Daisy. Good luck." And in no time, practically, she got a dance teacher. She got people doing things that we had never even thought of doing in this town.
Phyllis Hatcher lives in Wise. She works with Daisy on some of the cultural projects she started.
We just thought, well, we have to go somewhere to get this done. Well, Daisy said, "No, we're going to have it here. We'll have it here and then offer it to all the other people." So as a result, we have a very active dance program in this town. Just various kinds of dance, modern, gymnastics, ballet. You just name it, and it's here. And I really feel that it's all because of Daisy. She just is that type of woman. She can just get it done.
What are you doing tonight?
Well, I don't have anything planned offhand.
Would you like to come and help us tonight?
Sure, what would you like for me to do?
What would you be doing at 3:30?
She's a very determined person and rarely takes no for an answer. You're afraid to say no to Daisy because she's just a likable person. You know, you just look at her, sometimes you think, "Oh, Lordy, there's Daisy. What am I going to have to do now?" Yeah. And then she gets you involved in it, and she works so much and so hard that you just like doing it.
We need to take it out of it. How do you do this?
She does everything. She runs things.
When she first came from Cuba, he was working in a department store in Miami. And I think that some of his co-workers made a remark that there was no room in Cuba for two dictators. So that Daisy had to leave and find new areas where she could dictate.
I guess I'm a frustrated impresario. I should have been an impresario a long time ago because that's what I really like to do.
And they have opera in Wise, too. Daisy asked a friend to take these home movies of last year's production of Hansel and Gretel by the Pittsburgh Chamber Opera Theater. The opera is one of a cultural series offered by Pro Arts, another group Daisy and others formed about 6 years ago. Bonnie Elosser
When people
remembers.
saw, for instance, when Pro Art started, we would have our board meetings, and people literally had tears rolling down their cheeks when Daisy first proposed the idea of bringing the opera to Wise. And that is the truth. I saw this with my own eyes. Who would go and see an opera? And we played to a full house, and I guess the first standing ovation I ever saw in Wise. And we don't even have to worry about attendance at our operas. We know that those will sell out.
that we all have the duty of making this a better place to be. And this is my little place that I am, and I guess it just gives me tremendous pleasure to work with those things. Sometimes I feel like thanking the community and thanking people for letting me do them, because if I was not doing them, I don't know what I would do, you know. So sometimes they thank me, and I say, no, let me thank you for letting me do it, you know.
Last look at the headlines. 32 inmates of a prison in Virginia have surrendered and released all the hostages they had been holding since yesterday. Hundreds of workers are using bulldozers to try to clean a big oil spill from the beaches of Galveston, Texas. And the president of Israel has asked Shimon Peres of the Labor Party to try to form a new coalition government. This is the time when I usually say we leave you now and then specify some lovely glade or gully. Well, there's nothing very lovely about this. Here there is sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide, plenty of both flotsam and jetsam, pollution of air and sea and sound. This is part of New York City. There is a dot of paradise here. This is Shooter's Island, just off Staten Island. And thanks to the State Department of Environmental Conservation, these are some of the egrets and herons and miracles we saw in New York City last Tuesday afternoon. I'm Charles Kuralt. I hope you'll join us here again next Sunday morning.
Today on Face the Nation, Leslie Stahl addresses the controversial issue of abortion and international population control. Today on Face the Nation.